This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Higgler charged for robbery at St. Catherine Gaming Business. Cops assigned to the St. Catherine South Division have charged 26-year-old entertainer and Higgler, Dondre Blake, over a robbery in St. Catherine. Blake, otherwise called Dre, who is from Bond Street, Kingston 14, is charged with a shop break-in and larceny. The police report that about 4:15 a.m. on March 9, Blake and two other men broke into a business establishment in Old Harbor Glades in St. Catherine and stole gaming boxes. The police say the boxes were tracked and recovered in Manchester. Several parts from the gaming boxes were recovered in a Nissan AD wagon motor car in which Blake was traveling, along with two other suspects, according to the police. Blake was accosted while the other two suspects fled. A question and answer session was conducted, and Blake charged on Monday, March 14. His court date is being finalized. Income tax filing deadline extended. Tax Administration Jamaica is reporting that the deadline for filing income tax has been extended to Tuesday, March 22. The TAJ says it took the decision after careful consideration of several factors impacting the business community. Income tax filers are being encouraged to meet the deadline to avoid penalties. TAJ says it will continue to provide free tax season support for income tax filers who earn $10 million or less while observing COVID-19 public health and safety protocols. Taxpayers, by way of an appointment system, may contact any tax office to schedule an appointment, allowing them to sit with TAJ personnel who will help them to file their returns and register for the convenience of e-services. COB wants a more community-based approach to fighting crime. Commander of the St. Catherine South Police Division, Senior Superintendent Christopher Phillips, has called for a more inclusive community-based approach to fighting crime. The aim is to meet with the different groups and develop an understanding of what role you play in the security and the policing of your space, because all of you play a very important role. The taxi operator, the business person, the schools, and the community members all play a critical role, said Phillips, while addressing business leaders and the party promoters at a community forum held at the Old Harbor Courthouse on Sunday in anticipation of the reopening of the entertainment sector. Phillips laid out what he described as a new concept of policing and security, which he referred to as a multidimensional concept in which multiple agencies are involved in the social problems and issues that confront communities. We basically now deploy according to what the challenges are, and not just a mass wide-scale deployment, but to be far more surgical and with more precision, Phillips revealed. He said this approach has so far led to the disruption of the umbrella gang operating out of Newland, Nagahead, that has been terrorizing Portmore for some time, with the arrest and the charge of 10 persons who will face the court. With police statistics showing that 70% of the murders committed in Portmore last year were gang-related, Phillips called for a shift in focus in tackling the scourge. Dorothy Gale, who runs the church pen round Robin, said she avoided confrontation with the law by simply shutting down her business for the past 2 years. I want the government to just open up the country so we can get back to normal. I have suffered tremendous losses, she told the news. Brenda Morgan, owner of the Old Harbor Skitland, said she has to find employment overseas during the period to sustain her household. The opening up of the entertainment sector, however, will not come without some stipulated restrictions, according to Deputy Superintendent of Police Mark Harris of the Old Harbor Police. He pointed out that all party promoters must get a permit from the police to host their parties that should not go beyond 2 a.m., and there must be an adherence to the Noise Abatement Act. A spate of game box robberies from bars in the Old Harbor space has also become a worrying trend for the police. Harris said that law enforcers are working to break the trend in theft. He encouraged the bar owners to implement security measures to minimize robberies and break-ins. Phillips disclosed that the absence of serial numbers on these boards often hindered investigations leading to the recovery of equipment and apprehension of thieves. Meanwhile, Phillips encouraged the party promoters to form an association so they can better coordinate and manage the industry. He said this will also help the police in isolating the persons who are not from the area but who may be seeking to launder money. No charge in shooting death of Jamaican-born man in Pennsylvania. The family of Jamaican-born Peter Spencer has vowed to continue to seek justice after the authorities in Pennsylvania announced that no charge is to be brought in relation to his shooting death. "We are not giving up. We are not done. Even if I have to stand alone, I want answers in the death of my son," declared the mother of the deceased, Isilda Spencer Hunter. Spencer was fatally shot while on a camping trip in Venango County in western Pennsylvania last December. Venango County District Attorney Sean White announced on Tuesday that the shooting was justified and no one will be held criminally responsible for the death. White said that Spencer's killing was justified under Pennsylvania's Stand Your Ground law. He said his office cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Spencer's death was not self-defense. White further said that the police indicated that there was no evidence that there was hate or that there was racial bias in the killing of Spencer. But Spencer Hunter is accusing the authorities of whitewashing the killing of her son. "We will be speaking with our attorney as to how we move forward, but I want answers," she said. Spencer was invited to go camping in December with his friend, according to police. Spencer was found shot in Rockland Township in the early morning hours of December 12, 2021, after police were called to a residence on Carl's Road shortly before 2 a.m. Spencer, 29, of Pittsburgh, was found to have several gunshot wounds. His body was found on the front lawn of the property. White said when the police responded, Spencer was found dead at the campsite along with several guns, marijuana, and psychedelic drugs. According to him, a suspect reported that Spencer got out the AK-47 and started shooting in the air. He further stated that the suspect told the police that Spencer went insane and made the group get on the ground, and that is when he shot Spencer with his pistol. There were threats made to shoot up the place that the suspect believed Spencer intended to kill them all. The suspect turned around with the AK-47 pointed at him by Spencer. The suspect drew his 9mm pistol, White said in a statement. He continued, "This is not a case of where he was shot once and disabled, or that someone got up and executed him. This is not a case where a gun was put in his mouth and shot execution style." White said that the suspect had the right to carry, but Spencer brought 2 assault rifles to the camp that were not permitted to him. He further said in his statement that all the witnesses were upfront about drugs being used that day on the property, and it was after the drug use that Spencer became reckless and started firing shots. White said that toxicology shows that Spencer did have drugs in his system. "While we disagree with the decision, we are not surprised by it. This is a type of behavior we have seen from the PA State Police and the Venango County District Attorney from the onset," said attorney for Spencer's family Paul Jobas. 69-year-old pedestrian killed in St. Elizabeth crash. An elderly man died as a result of injuries he sustained after he was mowed down on the Brompton Main Road in St. Elizabeth on Tuesday. The deceased has been identified as a 69-year-old Derek Boyd, a construction worker of Dongal Springfield in the parish. Police reports are that about 3:45 p.m., the driver of a Toyota Camry motorcar was traveling on the Brompton Main Road when she lost the control of the vehicle, which mowed down Boyd and a 25-year-old man. Both men were taken to the hospital, where Boyd succumbed to his injuries. The other man was admitted. Minister of Labor seeks to avert air traffic controllers' strike. An emergency meeting was arranged for 9 o'clock this morning at the Ministry of Labor in an attempt to stave off industrial action by air traffic controllers. A 72-hour strike notice issued by the Jamaica Air Traffic Controllers Association expires tomorrow. The air traffic controllers, who have been restive for several months, over wage negotiations, signaled on Monday that they are planning to take action following a request from the Ministry of Finance that they remove some items from their wage claim. Kurt Solomon, president of the association, told the news that if there is no resolution during today's meeting, the members will proceed with industrial action. Appoint independent members to an expanded Senate, Golden recommends. Opposition leader Mark Golden is recommending that the Senate be expanded to include independent members who are jointly appointed on the recommendation of the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition as a way of reducing political tribalism. At present, 13 of the senators are nominated by the Prime Minister and 8 by the leader of the opposition. But Mr. Golden, making his contribution to the annual budget debate in Parliament on Tuesday, argued that existing constitutional arrangements have embedded an adversarial political culture that does not support the process of nation building. He said reform of the Senate appointment process is among initiatives that could force members of the political class to work together. Other key office holders for sensitive posts, including the 3 critical service commissions, should also be jointly appointed, he suggested. Mr. Golden also wants the government to revert to having opposition parliamentarians chair committees of parliament. Man sentenced to 15 years imprisonment for shooting cousin in the face. 47-year-old Mark Shepard, a higgler of Collie Smith Drive in St. Andrew, has been sentenced to 15 years behind bars for shooting his cousin in his face during a dispute in 2017. Shepard was last month found guilty of wounding with intent and the illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition. The court heard that Shepard, who has 5 previous convictions, was injured during the incident. Prior to handing down the sentence on Tuesday, Chief Justice Brian Sykes said he took into consideration the convict's antecedent report, which stated that on one occasion, the complainant attacked a member of Shepard's family. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.